This video is about the new gotMojo camera system in Sansar. It is built for a number of reasons to allow you to go ahead and set up automated camera angles for things like talk shows or game shows, any kind of event, as well as doing some machinima. So basically, the camera is in right now, and if we look at it, I have a camera sitting on the floor here somewhere. Over here is my camera, and it looks like a little camera. That camera, right now we're in the default camera mode, which is tied to your avatar. But if I say I have a set of camera angles, and so here's the way the script looks configured. Basically, you have a set of commands. And this is also documented on a website, which I will attach to this video, the URL to the documentation wiki. Basically, you have a set of control strings for the camera. So I've got 13 of them, 0 through 12 here, that I can call. And I'll give you an example of this. I have one called Start, which is the third one here, and that doesn't really change the position at all. It just goes ahead and goes to the position the camera's in, and you get to it by saying first camera on. Now what camera on does is switches you to the camera mode, to the scripted camera mode, and away from the control of the camera from the avatar. So if I say camera on, you'll see the camera switch over because it's on the floor. And it's from the front lens of the camera. So now what you do is you can use different commands to get it to places. So for example, if I say, if you saw this, and you can control these commands through chat by default, or also it's tied to the keys on your keyboard. So basically the one key will on the top of the keyboard will call cut 1, the 2 key will call dolly, 3 key orbit, and so on. When we get down to number 10 here, this will be the 0 key on the keypad, this will be the 1 key, and this will be the 2 key. Number 12 will be the 2 key on the keypad. So I'm going to go call cut 1 first of all from the command line, or from the chat, as a chat command, and it will move the camera. And see, it moved it to a pre-position here. It moved it in a global position, move to a global position, -7, -5, 1.8 off the ground, 1.8 meters off the ground, and it's got a 90-degree turn to it. So I can switch it to a different camera angle, like for example, I have like one called Long Look at Host. And you can name these anything. These are just names that I have to remember, and it's got kind of a long use. Now, if I grab my right key, I'm just going to show you. I'm clicking the right mouse button, and I'm going to move it like I would normally with if you were in avatar mode, and nothing happens because the camera's in control. So I'm here. I can switch correct camera angle again. And I can go say to, let's say I have one called Host Zoom In 1. Oh, that must not have been the name of it. Huh. Did I break it? The answer is probably. Nope. That may not be the most current. I must have forgotten the name of it. Let's do Dolly. That must not really what it is. I may have an old copy here of the commands. I think I do. I think I named it something else. I don't remember what I named it instead of Host Zoom In 1. So basically, you type in the command. I have the ability to. I have the idea also of host and guest, and I'm in doing the command, so I am by default the host. The guest here is configured to be gotMojo. Who's gotMojo over here? You can configure it here, or you can change it on the fly by typing a command that says focus, and then the name of the avatar would change the guest. So you can have a host and a guest. Why is that important is you can set up host and guest camera angles. And for example, I have one called host over the shoulder 1, which is number 6 here. And that there's a parameter in the string where you identify either global, host, or guest. So if I type in host over the shoulder 1, what it does is it finds the host and then positions the camera minus 0.5 behind the host, minus 1.1 to the left, and 1.8 high. So it's an over-the-shoulder shot from the host. So if I say host over the shoulder 1, there it is. It changes it. Now, just for grins, I'm going to show you what's really going on here. If I turn the camera off, it turns it back to where I'm in control in the avatar of the camera. So let's just kind of back away here. See, there's a camera. The camera is there. It was over my shoulder. So there you go. Now I can move anywhere. Let's move here. Let's move over here. And if I say host over the shoulder 1, what's going to happen is it's going to find the host again and put it over the shoulder. So it isn't that global position, host over the shoulder 1. It's a relative position. So if I do this, the camera goes over here, as you see. And if I go camera on again, it switches it to that view. So, but now I want to show, I'm going to move the camera. I'm going to move the man. Oh, I can't move the man, right? So I have to have camera off because I can't move my avatar. And I'm going to move back over here. And let's say, do camera on again. Get him in, so the script's under control. Oh, see, I got a shot here. Now I'm going to say I have one in there called host close-up 1. And it's going to go find the host and give me a close-up of the host. I have one in here too called guest over the shoulder 1. Let's try it. So it's going to find the guest and do an over the shoulder shot from the guest. Whoop. It's going to do a shot of the guest. It's not over the shoulder. I'm sorry. What other ones do I have in here? Oh, I can orbit. I can orbit around a point, or I can orbit around a host or a guest. And so I'm going to orbit around the host, and it's going to orbit camera around the host. So I have host, guest, relative shots. I have global shots, and all controlled via this. So you can set up as many you can set up to 20 camera angles. Now, if I look at another version of this, I can also do this. I can also say free camera. And what does free camera do? What free camera does is it basically gives you the same functionality in the camera script as you had when you were in F4 with your avatar and control the camera. So it's on the keypad now. I'm going to hit the 8 key on my keypad, and I'm going to, sorry. First of all, you have to have the focus on the scene, and that will move my camera in. So I'm in control of my camera at 4. This is rotating at 6, rotates it back. So you're basically flying the camera around. You're flying the camera around, so if I want to go behind him, I can do that, then I can rotate him. And you can do basically one movement at a time. I can send the camera down. I can send the camera up. I can tilt the camera up. I can tilt the camera down. So basically you've got control of the camera with your PF keys. And then you can also go back in here and go back to any of the camera angles as well. I can say, that's nice, I did that. Let's go back to a close-up of the host. There he is. So that's the basic camera, which gets configured and how you use it.